How you doing? Let's just get into it. How you doing? I've been asking you how you're doing since you walked in.
Yeah, well, doing really good. Things are moving forward in all ways.
All right, well. I'm Michael Kessler. Welcome to the Slime Zone. This is Jesse. Gillen Walters.
Gillen Walters.
Gillen Gibraltars.
This is really funny. I don't know if they can see this, but he just looks like a fat guy. Like splayed out on the beach.
Just looks like a fat guy. Yeah. He likes to take up as much space as possible.
It's so funny looking from my vantage point.
Well, he's my boy.
He is.
And that's why. I like a big puss.
I understand.
And you like a small one, which I just don't understand.
I do like a small one.
I want as much cat as possible. I want as much. I love him so much. I wish they took up more cubic inches.
Did they price him per cubic
by the pound?
Yeah, or whatever.
It would be by the cubic inch for sure. I mean, they're not like, poultry or something. You want to really tighten up those margins. It's not about pounds, it's about cubic, it's about grams.
Right.
Cats are priced by the gram. Fun fact, this is true. Those adoption fees are based off of
I know nothing, yeah.
The weight of the cat down to the cent.
But okay.
He's expensive.
But a lot of that is fur, which lowers his weight if you took that same size cat all fat, you'd have a little pig on your hands.
Sure. Volume-wise, he's, enormous. He looks like he weighs 100 pounds.
He looks so
if he was dense.
Funny to me, dude.
He's got a lot of volume and a good amount of mass, but more volume than mass because he's very fluffy. I spent like 30 minutes last night trying to de-hair this room just from 1 week of him being in here.
Yeah.
It was a lot, and it'll never be hair-free.
Right.
I'm glad it's remotely.
Especially with me in here.
Yeah, what's with that? Why don't you cut your fucking hair?
I know.
I
honestly know.
Bitch.
Yeah, go ahead.
You stupid bitch. That's good.
Someone has to be the Dan Avidan of this operation.
Yeah, it's good. It delineates you from me. Otherwise, we look very similar.
Indistinguishable in all ways.
That's
voice, thoughts.
Yeah, voice, thoughts. What else is there? Musical stylings.
Things, yeah.
Teeth. Blood types,
height,
phobias. We're both afraid of. What is it that we're both afraid of?
We'll say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Jesus.
Phallic.
Oh, okay.
Objects.
Sure. Yeah, Jesus is arguably the most.
Jesus, the most phallic object of them all. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I can only imagine he's tantalizing on site. I can only imagine.
Oh, he's got to be a real snack.
He's arousing, yeah.
He's usually portrayed as just a fucking beefcake. He looks great. I don't know if this is sacrilegious. I'm saying it looks good.
Yeah, well, I think, think about that for a second. Like a Christian wears a cross. Like, they love wearing crosses and adorning crosses on things. Think about if it's
cool. It's a good look.
But it was also like the murder. It was like the torture device for him.
Yeah, it's kind of like wearing a guillotine.
Right. Like Robespierre was not Robespierre, because I think he was cutting off a lot of heads.
I don't know who that is.
I barely know. French
executioner.
Guy in history. Yeah.
Being killed before your time. Very attractive. That's true. Back in those days, it was a prime form of entertainment. That was prime time. You go to the execution. So you're like a celebrity, kind of a celebrity if you get killed. You provide a fun evening.
Not much has changed. We just have like UFC now.
Yeah, it's true. UFC and court TV.
Yeah,
that's TV now.
Right. It's like the diluted version of getting beheadings.
It's palatable.
Anyway, what do you think? Should we get in the goo? Not to steal your thunder.
No, you're allowed to.
Am I on the right track?
Yeah, no, I think you're on the right track. I think we should get in the goo. Let's get in the goo.
Okay.
So, getting in the goo. Well, I don't know. I don't fully get what the segment is, but it's basically like we're gonna get up in there. We're gonna douse ourselves in the viscous fluid. Let me read my little tangent again.
Oh, great!
We're only in episode
great,
2.
great.
Bears repeating. I
Yeah.
wrote a little definition of getting the goo. Hang on. In this segment, we steep ourselves in the viscous goo that lubricates the machinery of life.
That's right.
And ask the big questions.
That's right.
So I thought, since this is our second episode, we're just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
We're just now getting to know each other as our viewers, listeners, what have you. We should break the ice with some icebreaker questions.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I pulled up a little icebreaker generator here on teambuilding.com, and they got all sorts of categories.
Oh my God, okay.
We got there's random icebreaker generator, weird questions, community building, inappropriate icebreakers.
Inappropriate, definitely.
You want to get in there?
Yeah.
Let's break the ice. I'm gonna hit the button.
All right. It just pulls up a rando.
Oh, it just took me to a list. All right.
Okay.
This is good. How much money do you make?
Oh my God. I will answer this. Oh no.
You don't have to answer. It's an inappropriate icebreaker question.
This is really awesome.
That's what my friend Adam did at our 5-year high school reunion.
Yeah.
Because he's very uncomfortable for some reason. He just walked up to Joe Lenart and he's like, "Hi Joe, how much money do you make?"
Oh my God, that's good.
How much money do you make? It was funny. It was great.
It is funny. I have an answer for this.
Yeah.
But it's like, I guess there's not really fallout here. I'm trying to just evaluate like what happens if I say this honestly.
Does it
Probably
matter?
nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I don't think so.
It's not like an embarrassingly large amount. I think that's when you don't want to answer. I feel like there's no shame in making a modest, like I know people who make little money, unless you're like on the poverty line, The poor people I know talk about it all the time.
And here's the thing. Your salary goes less and less far every month at this rate.
That is true.
So it's like, my answer is 60 to 70K. Depends on the year.
Depends on the year.
Obviously,
and the spending
change.
power fluctuates so greatly.
Right. And like that is the new, 50 to 60. Yeah. And this was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's time.
Went much farther.
I think I probably amount to roughly the same. I don't know because this is my first year freelance.
There you go.
But considering I'm able to pay my living expenses, it's going to be at least, if I had to guess, at least 45. I don't know. I'll figure it out during our next tax year. That's how much money I make.
Okay.
And
should we do another one?
Let's do another one.
Yes.
What was the most difficult thing about your childhood?
Oh my God.
Imagine asking that.
Not much to that.
Yes. Not much to that. Yeah, your childhood is notoriously perfect. Not actually.
Well, but virtually, in the sense of like no childhood is perfect, obviously, but for the most part, it was decidedly unproblematic. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. At least to my knowledge. That's the other thing. I was actually thinking about this recently. I was thinking about this like last night about how if there were problems in my home, my parents did very well to insulate the kids from it. But they didn't seem to have many problems either.
Yeah.
I think, they owned a small business in an economically depressed town for many decades. So I'm sure there was a moment where it got rough, especially because this place I grew up like took a pretty strong downturn since we had set up shop that like maybe 10 years after they had started doing that, took a shit.
It took a shit
economically. So whatever. Point is, what is my answer to this? The most troublesome part of my childhood. Difficult.
Yeah, it could be. It doesn't even have to be something tangible. I mean, I don't know you as a victim of bullying, but perhaps that's an answer for many.
Right. That wasn't really too much of a problem.
Yeah.
I guess you could say math.
Math was. Yeah, you know what? For me, it might be something scholastic. I hated going to school.
Yeah.
But it depends on what phase of my childhood. Lots of difficulties. My parents got divorced. I didn't really care about that.
Right.
But there are lots of difficulties that resulted from the divorce,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
And then my mom just ran out of money when I was in high school, so that was difficult,
Wow.
to put it mildly. It's pretty rough. Pretty formative. Those are formative years. And yeah, wow. That's got to be it.
Sure. And yeah.
Just dig into the trauma.
Yeah.
I don't really want to.
Nah, it's fine. And yeah, as you said, like in your own estimation, it doesn't seem like these things haunt you as much. And there's people where it's like it's a huge part of knowing them is like, now their parents guard or whatever, they have this problem as a kid.
Oh, well, my parents' separation, like the fact that my parents don't love each other, that doesn't haunt me.
Right.
The divorce, I don't consider myself a broken child of divorce.
Right.
I think that's dumb.
It doesn't feel
my
like
parents
that.
stayed together, I'd be much more traumatized, probably.
That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
Or
Everyone
looking
would
at it.
be. So anyway, that's probably enough on that subject.
God, I loved that though.
Yeah, these are terrible. It's the bad icebreaker.
They're toughies.
I'm gonna hit the random generator.
I like that.
What is your favorite thing to eat for breakfast?
My favorite thing to eat for breakfast.
Don't say Cum Flakes,
Ah,
because that's mine.
you could even picture the because very close to Corn Flakes.
Very close to Corn Flakes.
Common, maybe like the original cereal.
Corn
like
Flakes,
like the Kellogg's with like the rooster on it.
Mm-hmm.
Picture that, but Cum Flakes.
Yeah, it's no coincidence. The branding for Cum Flakes is identical to Corn Flakes.
Nearly identical.
Yeah.
Bargain bin.
Next
type.
time you see a box of Corn Flakes, maybe do a double take. They might be Cum Flakes.
Yeah, and you'll regret it if you don't make that double take.
You'll
Certain
regret
enough.
if you don't grab a box because they're fucking good, dude.
Right.
It's my favorite thing to eat for breakfast. Cum Flakes, and you've never even tried a bowl.
No, never.
It's not real cum. It's just cum flavored.
Oh my God.
Is like the most harmless way
If you really look under the title, it says Cum flavored cereal.
Yeah, artificially flavored. Right. I know it's a big,
classic.
It's kind of a hot button topic, artificial flavoring and GMOs and whatnot. But I'm grateful for science and those labs where they make them.
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted to eat cum in a safe environment. So tell me about your favorite breakfast food.
I love a fucking donut so much. I love a donut.
A donut is your favorite breakfast food? How often do you eat a donut for breakfast?
Rarely.
Why? Because you just don't want to enjoy life?
That's a great question. Most mornings I eat 2 eggs and a bunch of kale.
Most mornings?
Yeah.
Wow.
Makes me feel really good.
That's incredible. You take the time to make breakfast every morning?
Yeah.
You're psycho.
I usually have a couple eggs, a pile of kale, and a banana with peanut butter.
All of that?
Yeah.
Wow. No wonder you're so fit.
Yeah.
Doing your yoga.
Yeah.
Your yoga
Which
exercises.
I need to get more on top of, but
I'll eat. You got to be more on top of yoga.
Of yoga.
Oh, you've been
lately.
slacking. What's the deal? You too busy?
Yes. But that's also an excuse.
Yeah.
You
can be too busy, but also you can always make time.
It's so true.
If it depends on where you prioritize it.
Depends on the priorities.
So.
All right, what do you eat aside from Cum Flakes?
Aside from Cum Flakes.
Or maybe that's it.
Well, it's my favorite.
Right.
But
right,
most mornings I'll eat an Uncrustable, maybe 2 Uncrustables.
Ooh.
1 to 2 Uncrustables and a breakfast smoothie thing from the grocery store.
Yeah.
Bolt House Farms.
So good.
And they only make like 2 that I can eat that don't have banana in them. It's it's like the peach parfait and the strawberry parfait.
Sounds good.
It's yogurt. It's fucking good,
Is it
dude.
yogurty?
Yeah, it's yogurt based.
It's gluggy sounds.
It's gluggy.
It sounds like it's a gluggy experience. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
sometimes I'm glugging it.
If you were to turn it upside down, it'd be like.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's that consistency. That was a great demonstration.
All right, great.
That tells you all you need to know.
Or it's kind of like a truck with like a bad, I don't know, transmission where it's like, those drinks that come out like that?
Yeah, they're kind of, yeah.
They're jerky.
If they're thick enough and it's coming out of a bottle with a nozzle on it.
Narrow nozzle, yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be to the point where like you'll have it upside down and you'll get like recoil. It's like
Yeah.
gravitationally effective.
Yeah, like a gallon bottle's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Slimy.
It's physics, something
It's
like
physics, yeah.
that. My truly favorite thing to eat for breakfast would probably be like a chocolate chip waffle or French toast or something.
Yeah, that's good.
I love Big Mama's French toast.
Big Mama.
From Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, and look for the big in that title. It's there.
It's there. It's just not on the they didn't print
Mamas.
it, but it's implied that Mama's big. You got only a big mama can make French toast that good.
That's true. You can see the mama in your mind.
Yeah, I've got a pretty clear image of Mama. Let's do another one.
Yeah, I'd love to.
You're into it. I feel like the ice is melting.
I really like
We're starting to settle into the
these.
slime zone. Okay. Oh, this is fun and kind of 2012.
Okay.
Choose one famous person from history you want on your team during a zombie apocalypse.
From history. Does that just mean anybody?
Anybody from history who you can name is probably famous enough to qualify. Yeah, like Abraham Lincoln or
Yeah, like historical, like
what counts as historical?
just dead. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I think dead is a good requirement.
Like if we agree, if we both know a dead guy that's not famous, does that we can work with that?
Well, I think it's just the term historical.
Right.
Well, we don't have to get into the semantics of everything.
A big, yeah,
Like a historical figure,
Yeah.
like the
Zombie apocalypse.
fucking I don't know history, dude.
At this day, but zombie apocalypse in this era, who would be helpful? Like, a super distant past person. On one hand, they might be an asset because they'd just be like, let's blow their fucking heads off. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's nice.
old timers back in the day, way more savage.
Someone who it would be routine for them to be like, yeah, I shoot people all the time. Now I have to shoot an inhuman, lumbering body. Like, even easier. I could do that all day. Like, that might be nice.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, like, what if we got, like, a great scientist that recently died that would have, a sense of the current technological landscape that might be able to, like, plug into the daily setup of things.
Well, I mean, in the zombie apocalypse, like, how much is that going to even factor in?
Right. How much infrastructure
the internet's
will
probably
be left?
gone.
Exactly.
Maybe you want like a super smart guy. Maybe you want Einstein in his prime.
Primestein. Yeah. Do you want to find a very smart person that you can silo away to be like, you're working on a cure while we defend you?
Yeah. But Einstein's a theoretical physicist. He wants to.
Well, someone
Probably not super useful.
Well, he knows how to kill lots of people. Einstein.
That's true.
He's done it. What's my pick? My pick is Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee.
He recently died.
Yeah, you did.
Whatever that actual guy's name is.
I can't remember.
Just to go down laughing.
Just to go down laughing. That's a good one.
Just bring him back.
I picked Charlie Chaplin. Same philosophy.
There you go. Similar idea.
You can pick. This is your one shot. You can pick anybody.
I guess that's.
You have a whole bunch of people relying on you to make the right choice. Like Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, I want to talk to him.
You just got to ask him a question.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good pick.
I wouldn't poo-poo that answer if I were. I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, we're fucked.
Thanks.
Let's make it fun.
All right. That's satisfactory. I'm into these. I'm really getting to know you, I think.
Yeah, me too. Me myself
I'm gonna hit the
and you.
I'm gonna hit the button. Thanks for participating. Thanks for playing along.
Yeah, this is really fun for me.
What food will you never eat? Don't say Cum Flakes.
Oh, what food will I never eat? That is tough. That's hard to say.
You think you're open to all foods? I mean, I would never eat a cat. I would never eat cat.
Well,
cat meat.
I guess that works, but like you're calling a cat in the genre of food. You didn't say what thing will you never eat.
Well, but cats are considered food
somewhere, yeah.
Other parts of the world.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that is an answer for me as well. Probably dog as well. It's just like
I'd eat dog.
No, okay.
Plenty of dog meat to go around.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I don't feel that way
Dog
for real.
eat dog.
I would prefer not to eat dog.
Like, I don't think I'd want to eat like a bull testy. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Testes of various. I don't know if I want to eat a testy.
I'd prefer not to, but that doesn't really bother me as much. Because
Wow.
it's gross, but it's like most like. Have you ever had like it's like a blood sausage?
Right? Yeah, I have.
Disgusting.
You think so?
I think it's way grosser than like a blood sausage is like. It's like
I've eaten
coagulated entrails and
yeah, I've eaten it.
I mean, these are all things I'd prefer not to eat, but if I was starving to death, I would eat them.
I've had blood sausage before, and I was like, do you think it was like my sister was with me, and I was like, do you think it's actual blood? And she was like, don't look it up. Don't look it up. And I was like looking it up. I was like, it is blood. She's like, I can't believe you fucking looked it up. And I was like, what's your problem? You are eating it. You like it.
you already know it's gross.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
She was like, don't ruin this thing for me. And I was like, I don't know.
I understand where she's coming from.
I do too.
I don't want to be thinking about the process of making chicken nuggets as I'm eating them. I prefer not to have that dictated to me as I put them in my mouth.
Yeah.
I just want to remain ignorant and eat them.
What if food had that, like the equivalent of a like a cigarette disclaimer on the package where it's really in your face, like in maybe Canada or somewhere they'll actually have like pictures of like diseased lungs on it to like hyper dissuade you.
That would change the way I eat.
Right.
What
if every time you ate a chicken nugget it was like, just so you know, like in your ear it was like, that chicken nugget you just ate was produced in this way and blah blah, and it's like that was just a part of it.
It doesn't bother me as much the way it's produced. Honestly, I know it's horrific and inhumane. I know that, but I still eat them knowing that. So obviously that's not a deal breaker for me. But if they put on like every carton of chicken nuggets that like they increase your risk of Parkinson's disease, I would never eat a chicken nugget again. Yeah. Food can be prepared in a horrific way. Whole meat industry is just disgusting in general. Like dressing an animal, like that's horrifying. But as long as it doesn't, like that's what you do to make it, safe to eat. So
yeah,
if it's safe to eat, I'll eat it.
Man,
I just don't want Parkinson's.
What is my answer? I guess it's like a testy. There's some testicle that is a delicacy somewhere that's commonly ate that I don't want a part of. Human testes.
I would never eat a human testicle.
Again.
Animal testicle? No problem.
All right.
Not a problem.
So a cat is your answer?
I'm just going to say cat.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open-minded.
I mean, what if we just had a bunch of 4 chickens in this room instead? Could we really be like, God, chicken's fine?
Probably. For me, anyway.
All right.
Yeah. I don't have any chicken friends, so it's easy for me to
Me
say
either.
that. Let's see here.
My neighbor has chickens, though.
Oh, I like this one. What season would you be?
Oh, I like this one.
This is fun.
This is cute.
This is good.
What season would I be? Oh, God. I really like all seasons.
You like all the seasons?
I think each of them...
Who are you?
I'm like... I kind of see the seasons as like each one is a different brat stall.
Summer is dog shit. Fall?
It's fun.
Love fall. Love winter. Spring? Bullshit. Unless you live somewhere that has spring. But we don't have spring. Spring is just the prelude to summer, which is dog shit. So I don't like spring.
Yeah, spring and fall are these transition seasons that
are becoming even briefer.
Right.
And soon we won't have them anymore. I say this every year, to be a little morbid, but it feels real. This is the last fall we'll ever have.
You think so?
It feels that way every year because it feels shorter every year, and I want to savor it.
Look, fall is clearly special, and everyone knows it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, fall is like the most popular answer.
Fall is magical. I get it, and I love it too. Winter, I connect a lot with. I do.
Yeah.
It feels about as special to me, and people really loathe it because it's troublesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it a lot. Spring is probably my least favorite, but I still love it.
Your least favorite is spring.
Probably.
Wow.
I really like it though. I haven't met a
It's
season
your least
I don't
favorite, but you still love it.
I love it.
I didn't know you had so much zest
for
life.
seasonality.
Yeah.
For life. Yeah, because pretty much what we're talking
Just
about.
having a great time all year.
Yeah, there's something to love about all of them.
But which season would you be?
Would I
is
be?
the
I
question.
know. Like
yeah.
that's the thing. I feel like I would be winter.
Yeah, I think I'd be winter too. Chilly. Bundled up, you got a lot of hair.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready for? You always wear pants.
I never wear
Never
shorts.
seen you wear shorts. You can't be summer if you don't wear shorts.
Exactly.
So,
I can't be a
Can't even be
charlatan.
spring.
You think winter as
I'm
well?
probably winter. I like to be fall. I don't know why. Everyone wants to be fall. That's why I don't want to lay claim to fall.
Right. Here's my question: who would be fall? What do you have to be to earn fall?
You got to be Ben Gibbard.
Right. Exactly.
Ben Gibbard is fall.
That's hard to be.
What? Well, let's think of
Ben Gibbard is fall.
who's winter. Like who? Think of the winteriest
The
person.
most winteriest. Is it like Hagrid? You know,
Hagrid?
like a burly, like hunker down
I never would have thought of
kind of
Hagrid.
guy, or is it like a tortured?
Yeah,
There's a lot of ways to
like
slice it. Ben Gibbard is Mr. Fall.
Ben Gibbard is Mr. Fall.
So
I feel like
funny.
that's just undeniable.
We all agree.
Carly Rae Jepsen or someone is
Spring
like
or
summer or spring. Who's springier?
I mean, she's definitely summery, but I wonder, like,
Maybe Billie Eilish is winter.
yeah,
You know?
I hear that,
But then again, she's constantly rebranding.
I know.
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, Billy?
What the fuck is with
I can't
that?
figure you out. You just like be two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
God. Damn it. Man. Yeah, there's a lot of winter options.
Yeah. I can't think of. Trying to think of the
Like Jared
undeniable.
Leto.
Jared Leto
Could
is
he
winter.
be a winter? I like these like these dark people.
Oh,
Are they
dark?
wintry?
Yeah, winter is a dark time.
And who the fuck
I want to
is
think of
spring?
someone. Oh, you know who's winter?
Who?
God, what's his fucking name? He was in the new Dracula movie where he's the assistant. Nicholas Hoult, that's his name. Nicholas Hoult is very wintry. He's pale in most films that he's in.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just got an icy complexion
Yeah. Well, that's part of it.
and an icy demeanor.
He's definitely not summery.
All right, let's get on to the next question.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more of these we've got in us.
Yeah. Well, it's unendingly fun
Yeah, there's really
so far.
unlimited potential here. What movie made you laugh the most? It's Liar Liar.
It's Liar Liar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well, as a kid, it was like, what was that like? Like when I watched Liar Liar at 11 or whatever the hell, it was like showing me some like comedy for the first time. It was like a revolutionary idea of like someone could be this ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, Jim Carrey really pushed the envelope. He redefined. He's the Charlie Chaplin of our time.
He could be.
He just is.
He could be.
For me, it's probably one of the Jackass movies.
That's great.
Honestly.
It's just raw
Just
laughter.
made me laugh the hardest. Probably Jackass 3.
Okay.
The stunt with Steve-O in the porta potty really got
Now,
me.
could you walk me through that a little bit? What happens?
That
with that
stunt? Oh, you don't know?
Haven't seen any of those
They
movies.
literally affix Steve-O inside this porta potty that they have.
Steve-O.
It's full.
Do they like launch it?
Yes.
Oh my god!
It's like on a giant. You ever been in an amusement park, like
a slingshot.
a slingshot thing? Yeah,
Right.
they slingshot him in the porta potty, and they got like camera on the inside and on the outside, and it's full of shit.
God.
Imagine being inside a porta potty full of shit. And just like,
yeah, that's psycho,
and he's
dude.
Screaming. It is so funny.
Oh my
It's
God. I
legendary.
assume throwing up immediately.
Before it's even over. I think throwing up is one of the funniest things.
Oh, okay.
It's my least favorite thing to do.
To experience, yeah.
But I find unexpected vomit so funny. And in Jackass 4, there's more vomit than all the movies combined, probably.
Now,
they'll do something horrific, and then like all of a sudden, like the cameraman's throwing up, and, and there's like Jeff Tremaine, who's like, oh God. And then the person there's a scene with where the new guys, or it's like a bit, Zach, he's very fat, and they get him. They put a bunch of like sashimi in his folds.
Oh my God! What?
And then encase him in this big plastic suit and have him do jumping jacks and stuff, so he gets real sweaty.
Oh my God! They have to eat like raw fish.
Yeah, and then they unwrap them and take it out and start eating it, and they're all throwing up. And then Zach is like they like make him smell one of them, and he's like,
oh my God!
It's
dude.
awful. It is putrid.
So that's like the ingenuity of these things. It's almost just the setup of that show is such that it's like, if someone's like, what if we stuck fish in his fucking folds? It's just like, all right, let's go. Like, it's valid.
Yeah.
If it's just weird, like,
well, anything's fair game. I'm sure they pitch probably hundreds of ideas.
Right.
They film maybe a portion of those, and then only a smaller portion makes the cut. So that one,
what a concept, that whole show.
Amazing.
Now wait, the last one was like 2021 or something, right?
Yeah, Jackass Forever. I think that was last year.
Now what number was that? Like the fifth one?
It's 4.
That was the fourth one, and that was far off from the third one, right?
10 years.
Yeah.
But every Jackass movie has the 0.5 iteration, which is like a separate extras. It's like a whole nother movie made from leftover footage that wasn't used in the first movie. So in a way, there's 8 Jackass movies,
right?
And then there's Bad Grandpa.
I would love to revisit all of those some evening.
They're so wholesome. And I mean,
you think they're wholesome?
Yeah, wholesome as fun.
In a way, they are, because it's not like they're hurting.
They're pranking each other.
Right. They're not throwing bricks through like windows and like chuckling and running off.
No. Yeah. If you don't remember it that way, watch Jackass again. It's very wholesome.
Right.
It's some of the most wholesome entertainment I think one can enjoy.
Sure.
So,
wow.
Yeah, that's my answer there.
That's a good one. Made you laugh harder than anything.
Let's do one more.
All right.
Is this a good one? What is your favorite song to sing?
Ooh. My favorite song to sing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with your vocal pipes.
Uh-huh.
Is it an original?
No. I really don't.
You don't sing for pleasure.
No, I absolutely do.
Is it some
it's definitely
parody lyrics?
It's definitely a Dirty Projector song, just because there's so much to sing in a given song of Dirty Projectors.
You like some more words. Is that
more pitches?
More pitches. Okay.
For the most part, melismatic. Arguably less words. Most pitches.
Melismatic.
More pitches per word in a Dirty Projector song.
Than average.
I'll say Simple Request by Dirty Projectors.
Simple Request.
That is pretty much purely because I'll sing that song or I'll play the song on guitar or something, and it'll just like cure me of whatever ails me.
Wow, that's powerful.
It's pretty interesting, yeah, that I recognize that.
Huh.
Like the first time I played that song, and then I was like, why do I feel so much better? And then I like,
what the fuck?
It was weird. This was like 8 years ago, and then I was talking to my friend Jake, and I was like, have you ever experienced this? He was like, yeah, sometimes you just need to play some music, man.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I guess I know. I've known that my whole life, but like,
Yeah, that shouldn't be a revelation for little old you.
I know. What's wrong with this? This was 8 years ago. I was young.
Yeah, you're still figuring it out. discovering the healing power of music. Music is our lives.
Yeah.
Music is my life.
It's definitely mine too.
You seen how Twitter's now X?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Really no segue into that.
Yeah.
I was thinking
It's okay.
that's just like that kind of tweet like energy, like music is my life.
Yeah, music is my life. But like Drake posts it, so everyone's like
I don't know why I associate that with Twitter. I was thinking of like people from high school, again, like 2012 era, where that wasn't like a very that's I think it's a ridiculous thing to say.
Music is my life.
I don't know why. It's always peeved me.
It's such a platitude.
It is.
Yeah.
And people, I'm literally remembering like middle schoolers saying this. I'm judging people who are adults now, but basically middle schoolers, because that's the time when people were, which is like, okay, you get a pass.
Right. Like,
if you're as that unformed, music is your life. Listen to Linkin Park and Eminem.
As far as you understand the bounds of reality,
it's your whole identity. Yeah.
Exactly.
But there's more to me than music. I'm a 3-dimensional boy. Aren't you?
Yeah, I've got more going on than that, though. How much more? What could you say?
It's maybe music is.
It's a big. I guess. What is it? How do you earn that
on the pie chart? It's got to be at least 80%.
Yeah.
Maybe music is your life.
But it also that's a hard pie chart to draw, because it's like all of this is in service of music, but maybe very little of it is actual music making. Sometimes, some days.
Yeah, it's true. It's a nebulous statement.
It is
one that I don't like.
Yeah, but I get it. Music is my life, dude. And it's like, what? I just love John Mayer, like that's that kind of person.
Love John Mayer.
I just love John Mayer.
I love him
so much. You love
much.
John Mayer, don't you?
I wouldn't say I love John Mayer, but I really like some John Mayer songs.
Sure.
I'm not trying to distance myself from John Mayer for any particular reason. Not that I haven't heard some dubious things about him.
Right.
But I truly am. I love Stop This Train.
Mm-hmm.
I love New Light. Incredible song. Undeniable.
He might be Spring.
Yeah. Maybe he is Spring.
Maybe he is Spring.
He's Spring.
We almost got all our white guys for we got all our white guys for our seasons.
Yeah.
Bo Burnham could be winter. Yeah. I mean, maybe
he's fall. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Ben Gibbard is fucking fall.
Ben Gibbert's fall. Right. Ben Gibbert's fall.
We don't have a summer white guy.
I'm just thinking of hugely influential people for me. And
right.
Ben Gibbard is fall.
Sure.
Bo Burnham's winter. Yeah. Adam Young
could be summer.
He's
summer.
He's summer. He's not spring. He's summer.
He could be spring or summer to me. You would know better.
Yeah. He could be. Maybe Matthew Healy is winter.
That also could work.
I feel like he's probably more wintry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm stressed out.
John Mayer might be spring.
John Mayer. Jen Mayer. Jenny May. Maybe spring. I don't know. I don't have a comprehensive knowledge of John Mayer.
Yeah.
Can't make that call.
He, for whatever reason, was someone I listened to a lot as a kid.
Really?
A lot. Like one
Gravity?
of my faves as a kid. Gravity, not as much. Gravity was like a new single that came out after I listened to him a lot, and I was like, man, I'm done with John Mayer at this point. It wasn't conscious. I was just like, I've grown out of this. Like Gravity, no, I don't care. Clarity, I don't know if you know that song. Incredible. Daughters.
Daughters.
What is the song? Maybe his biggest song. What's the title? I want to run through the halls of my high school. I want to scream at the top of the lungs.
I don't know that one.
You don't know that?
No.
You would recognize.
I thought his biggest song was Gravity. Gravity.
I mean, Gravity. Could be. He's got a lot of hits, that's for sure.
New Light might be his biggest song. That one's gangbusters.
And maybe even since this era, it's like he's, maybe like in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
There's another song called Bigger Than My Body. Super good.
Bigger than my body.
Gives me credit for.
I haven't heard that song. I just was assuming.
That was pretty spot on. Because I'm bigger than my body. Gives me
I
credit
get him.
for.
I get what he's doing with his melodies.
Also, like Room for Squares. It's like I want to live in the center of a circle. Yeah, there's a lot of like, I guess, deep cuts I liked. Maybe. On the side of a square. Home Life. That's that song. Home Life, Bigger Than My Body, Clarity were like my big ones.
You're buffier on Johnny than I am.
Buffier.
But I think New Light and Stop This Train, especially Stop This Train.
Stop This Train is great. Yeah.
New Light's not a particularly inventive song. Not that Stop This Train is my favorite because it's inventive, but
right.
I think that is an immaculate song.
It has
song.
Animal Crossing energy for me.
Stop This Train.
Yeah.
In what way?
It's just this cozy little, walk.
Well, it's train oriented. Animal Crossing starts with a train.
It's a cozy song.
It's a cozy walk. I guess it's cozy, but it's very emotional.
Yeah, I can't speak to the lyrical contents.
The lyrics are,
even
tremendous. It's an emotional song. It'll tear your jerks if you're listening.
Tear my jerks apart.
I think when I'm praising the song, I'm praising it comprehensively.
Sure, that's a good one. Later into my life, years and years and years, like a decade and a half after listening to John Mayer, as much as I did, my sister was like, "Hey," like slid that song. Was like, "Check out this John Mayer song."
She slid
Stop This Train. Yeah,
slid that to you. Yeah, wow,
it's good.
What a terrific time for you.
I had a good.
Here's an icebreaker I just thought of.
Okay,
which impractical joker would you want to go on a date with?
Oh my God, from the show.
Yeah,
which I've never watched.
You know them. Their personalities. I was in a hotel this weekend.
Okay.
I was shooting a Wheeler Walker Jr. show.
Yeah.
In South Dakota.
Whoa, and now you're back here.
I'm back here. That's crazy, isn't it? I've traveled many miles.
It is kind of weird.
I was in a hotel and had True TV on, and they just play Impractical Jokers all day.
Did you get your own hotel room?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I was bunking with a nice boy named Jason.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. But I didn't go to sound check because they sound checked earlier in the day because it was a festival.
Got it.
And didn't need me. So I was working in the hotel room with Impractical Jokers on in the background. So got like a couple hours of that in. I want to go out with Q. He's he seems like the most, authentic.
Could I like guess the archetypes of them, you think?
Maybe.
Like, are they that sort of prescriptive as characters?
No, not really.
Oh, really? So
I'm not like a huge Impractical Jokers fan. I think you know that.
No, I do. And then aren't they kind of like a punching bag? Like, like real comedy people will like kind of pick on it as like, this is lowbrow.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I mean, every time I start shitting on them, and it's just their live shows, introduced to them via their live show.
That's right.
Which is unlike the TV show, not spontaneous at all. Like it's all scripted. Every laugh is scripted. So it's very forced and awkward. But the TV show's funny. I mean, it's a prank show. And I watched enough of the show to get it. Like it's got its moments.
Sure.
So,
well, it's what you call it, Jackass light, and it's it's at the expense of civilians.
Not a little bit. Right? Yes. I mean, yes, more than Jackass.
Yeah.
But the humor of it it's supposed to be about them humiliating each other.
Right.
Like you got to do this thing. It usually involves it always involves like a civilian.
I had this,
but you're not like, I don't know. It's not like TikTok pranks, which are just purely mean-spirited.
I know. What is TikTok in general?
Well, you got these youngsters out there.
I had this coworker that I think it's a character. The character that this coworker is, I think you would hate. In the sense of like, she's kind of like a boisterous, kind of laughs too hard, too loud, too long. Who laugh. But it's also like laughs too hard, too loud, and too long at dumb shit and otherwise. And it's like, it's one thing if that's just, she's great, except it's like, okay, you're a little much.
Yeah,
sonically.
I don't like that.
But it's also informed by the fact that, like, as a coworker, it's like your ideas aren't very good. you don't really put things together in a way that makes sense. Like, most of the time you're like throwing us off course. You're not really like,
so just a generally low quality person.
oh my God. I
like my people high quality.
Struggle to say that, but I do
struggle to say it
somewhat right. But
I'll say
that's
it.
aside from the truth.
If we're good, if this is a good cop, bad cop situation,
Right.
I'm the bad cop. I'll do it.
Right.
I never get to be the bad cop in life.
That could be a thing we do one time.
Be
Just
cops.
good cop, bad cop. Some scenario.
Some sort of segment where I'm a good cop. You're a good cop. I'm a bad. I like that. I'm gonna come up with a segment.
Table that.
It's tabled.
Anyways, whatever. Point is, she's kind of annoying. That's it. That's the truest way of saying it. It's like, you're kind of annoying, and you take up a lot of energy when it doesn't make sense, in my opinion. And there was one time when we were like in some down moment of the day. Maybe it was like a Friday. It was fine that it was happening, but she like got on talking about Impractical Jokers and like was like, we have to watch this one
Going
scene.
bananas.
Right. We have to watch this one scene right now. And it was like one where they're pretending to be dentists.
Sounds like
Did
a
you catch
situation. No, I mean, there's like a million
Right,
seasons.
Right. And yeah, she just, to me, what I was seeing was like very straightforward. Like, tee-hee, oh my God, like, he's not a dentist. How can he move that chair up and down? He doesn't know what he's doing, you know? And that was like the limit of it. And I was like, okay. And I'm sure there's ones that would make me laugh really hard.
Sometimes it is genuinely funny, but it's only when it feels like authentic. But
right.
I'm not here to defend the Impractical Jokers.
Point is, she showed us that and, like, you know, thought it was the funniest goddamn thing of all time, was the only one laughing her head off for like 30 minutes straight. And I was like, it was kind of like watching somebody, it was kind of like watching your aunt on Facebook, like earnestly share like a minion saying like, happy Friday.
Similar energy.
Felt like that.
I don't vibe with anybody whose favorite show is the Impractical Jokers.
Sure.
I'll say that, like, probably pretty conclusively. That's somewhat of a hurdle to get over between you and me. If your favorite show is the Impractical Jokers, it's a red flag.
Oh boy!
But I don't want to be binary about it. You know, like, could probably overcome it.
So, I know I haven't answered the question. I guess I'm ill-equipped.
It was a joke question.
Yeah. Well, it got us here, which was nice. Have you heard of? You said red flag, and maybe it reminded me. I don't know how on TikTok you are, but have you heard of beige flags?
What is a beige flag?
So I don't even fully know, but what I've picked, what it seems to mean to me is just like something that is flag worthy yet has no moralistic impact.
So just something of note.
Exactly, which is my problem with it. It's like, my boyfriend's beige flag. Is he like cereal?
What does it even mean?
Exactly.
Just
it's like, shut the fuck
like,
up.
what if I had like 4 toes on one foot? Is that a beige flag?
That's truly a beige flag in my estimation. Like, to me, it's like, yeah, that's what it would take. Be like a truly unique, noteworthy thing. But how it's commonly being used, like, my boyfriend's beige flag is he just loves having an air freshener in his car. And it's just like,
it's not even interesting.
not, right. It's like, let me inject. It's just, to me, it's a symptom of TikTok being like, I have an idea and I'm going to go forth and say, I am getting permission to say something, anything, you know. Oh, I can think of beige flags left and right about my boyfriend. I can always be on TikTok talking about beige flags.
I don't think I get it.
Me either.
I can't keep
I don't
up.
get it either.
We don't get it, and that's okay. We don't have to get everything.
Someone explain beige flags to us.
I think the reason we don't get it is because, like, they don't get it either. Right?
I think so.
Maybe that can't be right, though. Beige flag. what's my beige flag?
Your beige flag.
Is it that I'm Jewish? Is that beige flag?
Right.
It's a red flag, but you don't want to admit that it's a red flag.
I think that's too low. That's not loaded, but I think that's too loaded for a beige flag.
Too loaded.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, like, and having 4 cats is also too low in my understanding.
Yeah, I think that's
of
a
it.
red flag.
You know what I mean?
For
Like,
most.
it's too controversial.
Yeah.
It's like amount of cats and religions are too controversial for the conversation of beige flags.
Okay.
Is what it seems. It's like your beige flag is
my favorite artist is Owl City. Is that beige flag or a red flag? That's kind of loaded.
That also seems too salacious.
Then why are we identifying beige flags if there's no like
exactly my point.
You like to do this
Tough
with your
jeans. Yeah.
Is that beige flag?
I think that's getting to beige territory.
That's just like a beige flag is just like a password, like a lost password question and answer thing. Like street you grew up on was Del Mar.
Right. Yes,
Is it a beige flag?
Security, 2-factor security questions are basically the answers are beige flags.
Okay. Yeah, my boyfriend's favorite cereal is Oreos.
Right.
Oreos. So yeah,
remember when those came out?
That's a red flag for many. Yeah, I do.
It's also a red flag for me.
I eat them all the time.
How do you like them?
Let's talk about our red flags.
Okay.
Sometime. Yeah, let's get into it. I like this conversation. What are your red flags that you would identify?
Of myself.
Well, yeah.
Red flags for other people.
What would you say are your own red flags? If you had to guess.
My red flag
and they just need to be, you don't have to say they're toxic traits that you have. Things that, if you were in the dating pool, that you think people would perceive as red flags.
Right. My red flags, one that comes to mind is that almost every night I'm taking an edible and playing Breath of the Wild from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m.
You play for that long? 3 hours?
Pretty much. Well, let's put it this way. If I'm doing something that weeknight, let's say, for the most part, and the clock hits 11 p.m., I'm like, all right, gotta start winding up,
my shifts,
winding down.
Yeah.
So then I close down whatever I'm doing, brush my teeth, get in bed, and play Zelda until about 2 a.m.
Wow. Speaking of bedtime rituals being red flags, I think my red flag would probably be that I don't have to, but I've made a habit of having like 2, last night I had 3 drinks between like 8 and 12.
Sure.
Which isn't insane, but doing that every night is too much.
A lot of people be green flag.
A green flag. Yeah, but if you like to drink, it's a green flag. Be a red flag that I don't drink, which is historically I've been. It's not drinking hardly at all.
A drier man.
A dry man is a red flag. Right. A wet man is also a red flag.
A wet guy.
Alcohol is just too controversial.
Right.
There's
got to be more
red flags you'd report? I think the fact that you are a musician is a red flag.
For many, yeah.
If you're just like, I'm just imagining your Hinge profile. I think for many, they're just like, I don't date musicians. I just don't do it.
I know.
Because most musicians or artists or people who report themselves as artists have shitty personalities or some horrible baggage that they don't deal with, and or they're broke. There are a lot of negative traits that come with being an artist.
True.
So,
right.
I find it's a red flag for me.
Interesting.
Like, I'm not saying it's my own red flag, but when I'm, on the dating apps, like if I'm looking at a girl's profile and I see that she has like an artist, project or a band or something, that's a red flag for me, because most of the time it accompanies, it's a sweeping general. It's just a red flag. I'm not saying it's conclusive, but like it could indicate. It seems to trend with like just personality disorders.
Oh my god!
Like most artists have personality disorders.
We're definitely tapping into this fantastical, very extra thing.
Yeah,
perhaps to cope with things outside of our control.
I just think it's not a crime to be a musician or a songwriter and also like take therapy seriously,
right? Right, or be like, I get that there's rare traits. There's being a musician doesn't often accompany also being like business minded or fiscally responsible or a homeowner or capable socially or whatever. But
sure. It is a bag of worms.
It's a bag of gummy worms.
Is that the expression?
Nearly.
It's a bag of worms.
It's a can of worms.
A can of worms.
But I like a bag.
Sometimes
of
they
gummy
come
worms.
in bags. A bag of gummy worms.
I have another red flag for me.
Okay.
Which is that I have several pretty deep and earnest female friendships.
Okay.
Friendships with women.
That's a red flag.
For many, that would be...
Yeah, that's true.
To me, that's great.
It's definitely true.
I really... And, less anymore, I would say. Like, I've maintained... I would say it's still the case. Maybe more on average. And, I don't know, people would tell me this throughout my life. Like, you have a lot of, like, friends that are girls. It's weird as fuck. And I'd be like, I was not tracking that.
I don't...
Not weird. They were just noteworthy.
Yeah, it's noteworthy.
I would say I have enough at this point that people might be like, what? Like, yeah. For some people, it's just no man can be trusted if you have anything other than bros.
Yeah, I don't think that's not a particularly uncommon feeling for both sexes.
Yeah.
You want same-sex friends. You want your partner to have same-sex friends. I don't feel that way. You don't feel that way, but
no, anyone can befriend anyone successfully and figure it out.
Yeah. Can I talk about my red flags?
Yeah.
I drink upwards of 3 glasses of chocolate milk a day.
Right.
Which is alarming. That's also another drinking related one.
And frequency. Drinking an amount of drinks per day.
Yeah.
Based red flag.
But milk in particular, milk is almost as controversial as alcohol at this point.
Yeah, it's getting to be a little dicey.
I feel a little fucked up about it. I have 4 cats. That's a huge one.
That's a big one for many.
Yeah, I live alone with 4 cats. To some, that's like probably really endearing and cute, but I would say for most, that is a red flag.
Your average person would have pause.
Yeah, truly, I think if we just
like you
surveyed 100 women, more than half of them would say that's a red flag. What else? What's wrong with me? What appears to be wrong with me?
Yeah, should we call out other person's red flags?
Yeah.
Your fucking red flag is, dude, you always do this thing.
Yeah, tell me, what do you think my red flags are?
What's your red flag?
Yeah, what's my fucking problem? I got a lot of problems.
Well, okay, this is like a low blow. Obviously, I don't agree with this.
Why don't you let me have it?
But someone might be like, he has from a divorced, family or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
know?
anyone who sees that as a red flag, that's so dumb. Also, everyone's got divorced parents.
Everyone's got some fucked up
So
thing.
I would say just automatically the mind. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been evaluated because of that. But that's an interesting point.
There's I don't know. There's people who are looking at the dating pool as like this hyper curated, filtered thing where it's like, I need someone with this, and this, and I can they're out there, so I can.
Yeah, well, with dating apps, you can just kind of build your own profile, build the profile of your ideal mate.
That's true.
And if you're attractive enough, you could just hone it down until you find that person.
That's true.
It's pretty nice.
But what I mean, again, I'm just thinking of what other people say. It's not my earnest red flag for you. Can't really think of one.
Yeah, I think I'm too put together. I'm too good. I do go to therapy. Green flag,
right?
I think,
but that might be a red flag
to an idiot.
All of it could be red or
Republican,
green.
maybe.
Right. It's like fucking wimp ass. Some people might be like,
oh, you know what's probably a red flag? The fact that I've started this podcast.
There you
Big
go.
one.
The fact that I'm capitulating all of it.
As a bachelor,
yeah.
Yes. It's going to do more harm than good.
She who shall not be named, to the surprise of no one between us, so I make music as Basic Printer, and I have a companion podcast called The Printer Pod that I use very infrequently. Mm-hmm. And when I was just getting started dating this person, I was like, she was like, what's going on this week or whatever? And I was like, oh, I'm like interviewing this person for my podcast. And she was like, oh my God, oh my God, you have a podcast? Every white guy has a podcast.
She said that?
Yes.
Was this when you were starting to get to know each other?
Yes, early on.
Oh my God. That's just rude.
It's just rude. And it's just like
you can make that like funny, like a joke, because it's kind of true.
Right.
But I would, that would really put me off.
Yeah, you could fire back, be quippy and be like, oh, like Andrew Tate, right? You know, like you could be that quippy. But it was like, it was just her taking it and running with it and spiraling. Here I am with another, I'm just with a conventional, you know, toxic man. I can only assume that's what's like, kind of just, and like didn't let me explain. I was like, it's that simple for you? Like just typecast me entirely, because I was like, it's a podcast where I talk with other people. Like it's not about me even. It's like I interview my creative friends. And what's funny is that when I started this podcast, I did get feedback from, I had someone that I respect that was like, when I started it, was just like, look, there's nothing, like, I'm not responding to anything you're doing wrong. I'm just getting ahead of this because I think you could, this is her talking to me, I think you would appreciate this info. Like, you should prioritize making sure you have a good representation of like women and different people and colors
on your podcast
for your interviewees.
Okay.
Yeah. Like when I started the podcast, she was like, look, this is unsolicited advice that I think you can handle and whatever. And I took that to heart and like actually kept a spreadsheet of like people who called themselves, you know, women, and making sure I had like a good dosage of them on my podcast.
Yeah.
And I kept a spreadsheet to like make sure I kept that up. And so after all of that, like this
you
thing,
got a spreadsheet for diversity.
I had a binders full of women, as the one politician said.
Wow.
Anyways, you get it. Point is, that was the intention behind the podcast was unnecessarily pluralistic. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to think that hard about it. And in just that one word, she's like, "Oh well, every white guy has a podcast," and she wouldn't let me explain it further. And then
she was kind of bad.
Her. Yeah, I know.
I would say she was
her. Maybe that's her one of her several red flags.
Oh, getting in
typecasting.
She who shall not be named. Red flags. It's just one big red flag. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You're talking about, bro.
Yeah.
I don't like to reduce people in such a way, but yeah, we know people who are they're just all flag. All flag, no substance,
and not the beige kind.
Well, they're not even red flags because we know what's under with the red flag. It's just like it's a warning sign, but, you know.
Yeah, which that doesn't even make someone a bad.
It's just something. It's like if you're dating somebody and then you find out, oh, this man is a registered sex offender. That's it's not a red flag. That's like a demerit.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's an infraction.
Right.
You know,
it's not like, oh, the red flag has that he's into younger girls and it may culminate into something that extreme.
Yeah.
This is like, no,
it's superficial. Red flags are superficial by definition, I think. Right. And on a superficial level, my red flags can comprise of the amount of milk I drink, this podcast that I've created, my obsession with slimes and oops and goozes. Goozes,
that's
sure.
Cool.
The fun thing about slimes and goops and you know and whatnot is that you can just invent words. It's just, there's so many onomatopoeias for viscous fluids, and that's why I named this podcast the Slime Zone. I actually named this podcast the Slime Zone because this room is called the Slime Zone.
Yeah,
and I had this.
Yeah,
which our mutual dear friend Gracie made me for Christmas. And then you got one that says Dumb Fuck Industries.
I also got one for my studio named Dumb Fuck Industries.
It would also be a great name for a podcast.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's good.
So think about that.
Okay.
We add more podcasts to the mix.
Pretty good.
I think we did it.
We did.
Yeah.
There was one last thing I had to say. Yeah, just the idea that red flags, they're a little unfair. Everyone's got red flags.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Especially, everyone's got red flags. Everyone's got flags poking out of them. And sometimes, for some people, they're green. For some people, they're red. And it's just the case. It's just like everyone's got things that'll be like, I got to watch out for that thing based on my personal past experiences and expectation.
Yeah, this negative trait is usually accompanied by this quality. That quality is the red flag.
And yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and the fact that people give so much weight, they're almost counting like, these are all the red flags of this person I like. It's like, well, you're just waiting for them to fuck up rather than like letting them redeem themselves. And also, this is your perception of this person.
Yeah.
You don't even know if they are negative traits or actual problems or you're imagining something. It's like, because if you know someone, there's not really flags anymore.
Yeah, it's true. You just know the person. Thinking of my ex that was very toxic and all the red flags that I was overlooking that in hindsight were huge red flags.
Right. Know the feeling.
For instance, all she could talk about was Panic at the Disco. That's all she was capable of talking about.
Oh my God.
Huge red flag. And I recognized it at the time, and I actually just determined, this is not the person for me. She only talks about Panic at the Disco. And I mean, like, I like Panic at the Disco, but I can't really participate in this conversation. I assume she's not into me because she only wants to talk about Panic at the Disco. I found out later that she said it was because she was nervous and didn't know what else to talk about.
For months in a row?
Well...
Oh, is this earlier on?
I'm thinking of early on. The first couple times we hung out, it was just Panic at the Disco. Like, to the like literally like that. We've barely touched on any other subjects.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And that was a red flag for me.
To somebody that's, gold mine.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, Brendan Urie, he's hot. Okay, he's an inspiration. I think he's doing a good job.
Sure.
Dallin Weeks, former bass player.
Yeah.
Now he has this project. I don't know how, but they found me or something.
Yes. Yeah. It's a reference to
Back to the Future. Yeah. Amazing. And wow, what a smoke show.
There you go.
He's so hot. I want to be him.
I understand.
I'm working on it.
I would like to see him. Could you fly him in? I would like to see him.
Maybe he'll be our first guest.
Could you page him in?
Probably. If we had a TV here, I'd pull him up.
Well, maybe we'll buy one.
Yeah, maybe
today.
Next week. Maybe today. I don't know.
We'll just daydream.
My credit bill, my statement came in and it is hot.
Feeling that
it's hefty
as well.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know exactly where it all came from, but it is the majority of my checking account.
I feel that.
And as someone who isn't on payroll, it's a little more unnerving than normal.
Sure.
It's fine. Sure. I got checks coming.
Yeah.
If people choose to.
Well, they're sending some right now. Send them some checks.
Send me some checks.
Just anything.
Well, just the ad revenue we get from this podcast should make up for it.
This one? Yeah, this one.
First episode hasn't come out yet, but we know, once it does, we'll make the front page.
We know what we're sitting on.
Of the website. And then we'll get can we solicit money? Just give us money?
Give it.
Is that allowed?
Give it here. Yeah. What are you doing with it? You're not chasing your dreams.
What are you doing with the money?
Just take a
you
couple
haven't spent
dollars.
it. Just we'll spend the money.
Yeah, that's actually a good argument.
Yeah. Like you don't need the money. You haven't even spent it.
You're not going to do a podcast. You're scared. You watch ours. You watch this one to the end.
Yeah.
We'll do it for you. We're doing what you want.
Clearly you've got some, you put some stock in us.
I like the idea of like a musician getting paid is like, look, you are too scared to be me. Just give it up.
Yeah,
just give up the ghost.
Fork it over. For funny. Crying out loud.
It's a funny way to look at it.
Oh, okay. All right. Should we end it?
Yeah. Thank you for this safe space.
So safe.
Feels really fun. It's a fun space.
I'm glad it feels fun and safe.
It's a bit of an emotional jungle gym.
An emotional jungle gym, but a safe one.
Yeah,
there's
whatever.
Foam cubes on the bottom.
Yeah, it's like a gymnastics.
It's fun but
gym.
safe. Yeah, you can get crazy. You can do some fun aerobics, but you can fall too in this room, and you're fine. It's cushiony.
You can fall too.
You can. Thanks. You too. Both of us.
If you need to fall, you can fall.
If you need to fall, do it. Do it.